All right, let's get into it. Today, we are digging deep into one of the zodiac's most powerful, and let's be honest, complex pairings, the Earth sign empire of Taurus and Capricorn. I mean, these two can build something absolutely incredible together, or they can drive each other completely off a cliff. So which one is it going to be?
You know, the best way to understand this whole dynamic comes down to this one simple idea. Just picture this. Taurus is the powerful, reliable engine. It just goes, providing that consistent, unstoppable force. And Capricorn? Well, they're the driver, with a firm hand on the wheel and a clear map to the destination. Together, wow, they can go incredibly far. But what happens when the engine wants to just slow down and enjoy the scenery, and the driver only wants to speed up?
And that's the big question, right? Is this partnership destined to build something massive and lasting, an empire even? Or are there fundamental differences just going to cause a total breakdown on the side of the road? Let's figure it out. Okay, so to really get this pairing, we have to start with how they operate. Now, on the surface, they look so similar. I mean, they're both practical, ambitious earth signs. But once you dig just a little deeper, you realize their approaches to life, to work, to love, they are worlds apart.
Here's that whole engine versus driver idea in action. See, Taurus moves slow but steady, always focused on making the here and now as comfortable and enjoyable as possible. It's all about persistence. Capricorn, on the other hand, moves with this intense strategic purpose. Every single step is part of a much bigger plan, and it's all focused on future success, on building a real legacy. For them, it is all about the climb.
So how does this all translate into how they see the world? Well, these completely different paces and priorities, they create two very distinct mindsets, and, maybe more importantly, two different emotional languages. And really, what it all boils down to is when they're living. Taurus is right here, right now, in the present. They work so hard to build a good life specifically so they can enjoy it. Peace, consistency, that's the prize. But Capricorn? They're living in the future. They are always thinking 5, 10, even 20 years down the line. They value achievement and leaving a legacy above almost everything. Their goal isn't just to enjoy life, it's to build something huge and meaningful.
And you can totally see this in how they show affection. Taurus is warm, they're calm, and they're physically present. They show love through touch, through quality time, through thoughtful actions. Capricorn, they're a bit more reserved. Their love language is all about responsibility, providing for you, supporting your goals, being your absolute rock. They show love by what they do for you, not always what they say or how many hugs they give.
So, what happens when you take these two very different forces and put them in the relationship arena? Well, this is where their styles either click together perfectly or create some serious friction.
So who's in charge here? Well, most of the time, Capricorn naturally takes the lead. They're the planners, the ones charting the course for the future. But, and this is a big but, don't ever mistake that for Taurus being submissive. No way. Taurus is the stabilizer. They are that stubborn, unmovable force that provides the whole foundation. Capricorn might lead, but it's Taurus who decides that the ground is stable enough to even move forward. It's a really delicate balance.
And this? Oh man, this is the classic frustrating loop they can get stuck in. Taurus, who needs that warmth and reassurance, just sees Capricorn's logical approach as coldness. And Capricorn, who operates on facts and plans, sees Taurus's need for emotional expression as them being overly sensitive. It's like they're speaking two completely different languages.
And this communication breakdown leads to a very specific conflict style for Taurus. You see, they hate conflict. They will stay calm, they'll bottle things up, they'll absorb pressure, and they'll keep doing it until they just can't anymore. And then, boom, it is a full-blown emotional explosion. All of that pent-up frustration just comes pouring out at once.
Now, Capricorn's fighting style, it is the complete opposite. When a conflict starts, they somehow get even more cool, more controlled, more logical. They analyze, they strategize, they argue with cold, hard facts. So you can just picture the clash, can't you? It's this raw emotional force slamming into a wall of mental control. One is fighting with pure feeling, and the other is fighting with facts.
But, for all their differences, there is one place where the engine and the driver are in perfect, beautiful harmony. And that's money. Both of these signs deeply value security. They both hate reckless spending, and they are both laser-focused on building long-term financial stability.
This shared value, it's not just some small agreement, it's often the very bedrock of their relationship. It's the one language they both always understand.
So when you put all this together, you start to see that this partnership can really go one of two ways. It can become an incredibly strong, healthy empire, or it can become a slow, toxic drift into total emotional distance. Let's look at the signs for each path.
When it's healthy, it is all about mutual respect and balance. Capricorn genuinely values Taurus as the builder of their comfortable life, and Taurus truly respects Capricorn as the planner of their secure future. And the crucial part? Capricorn learns to open up emotionally, and Taurus learns to express what they're feeling before they hit that breaking point. They become real partners who actually solve problems together, instead of just butting heads.
The toxic path, though, it's all about silence. That emotional distance just grows and grows until the relationship just feels cold. Those same fights, stubbornness versus control, they just happen over and over again with absolutely no resolution. Taurus ends up feeling completely unloved and neglected, while Capricorn feels like all their hard work is totally unappreciated. It's not a big explosion. It's just a slow, quiet, sad drift apart.
So the big question is, how do they avoid that toxic path and actually build that empire? Well, it takes real, conscious effort from both of them. Here's the blueprint for making it work.
The solution really comes down to targeted effort. Okay, for Taurus, the key is flexibility and speaking up early. Seriously, don't bottle it up. For Capricorn, it's about making space for emotion. You gotta make time for connection, not just for work. And for both of them, the real magic word is balance. Yeah, set those big future goals together, but you also have to actually schedule fun and make a real effort to enjoy the beautiful life you're building right now.
And understanding each other's signals is so vital. With Capricorn's seriousness isn't about flowery, romantic words. It's about action. If they are investing their incredibly precious time in you and including you in their 5-year plan, trust me, that's their version of a love poem. On the flip side, when a Taurus is losing interest, you can't miss it. The warmth just fades, the effort stops, and that calm energy they have, it gives way to irritation. You will feel that distance immediately. And that really brings us to the final takeaway. Look, this is not an easy whirlwind romance. It's a partnership that's built on loyalty, on hard work, and on a shared, deep-down desire for stability. When the driver respects the engine's pace and the engine trusts the driver's direction, they don't just build a relationship, they build an empire. The ultimate challenge for them isn't if they can build a life together, but whether they'll remember to stop and enjoy the view from the top of that empire they've built. That, right there, makes all the difference.